Josh Cantor, entitled What the Heck is a PMBOK? And so Josh, you're up.
What the heck is a PMBOK anyway? Does anyone know what a PMBOK is? All right, perfect. I'm glad, because you can't tell me I'm wrong when I tell you what it is. Today, together, we're going to explore some of the key concepts of project management, including what a PMBOK is, as well as some other terms, some abbreviations, some techniques surrounding this concept of project management. So let's first define what is project management. What is a project? A project is a package of work that has a unique result. It's not an ongoing process. So we can separate the concept of process and project out from each other. A factory working on stuff, churning out products is not a project. A call center taking calls is not a project. Project would be creating a unique product one time, or reorganizing a company, anything that results in a unique outcome. Technically speaking, it's the organized management, the planning, the execution, the control of work that has a defined beginning and end. There are 9 knowledge areas within project management. A knowledge area is a category of skill or proficiency the project manager applies to a project. The knowledge areas are in scope management, time management, cost management, quality management, human resource management, integration management, risk management, procurement management. All of those areas of skill that a project manager will utilize throughout a project. In addition to the 9 knowledge areas, there are 5 process groups within project management. These are categories of functions that a project manager will perform. Those are initiating, planning, executing, controlling, and closing. They should not be confused with the phases of a project, because each of the process groups could occur in sequence and sometimes repeatedly throughout the project. We could have all 5 occur within each phase of a project. Some acronyms that we should be aware of with regard to project management are numerous. I'll just give a few because, like many professions, there are endless acronyms within project management. One that we should be aware of is PMI, which stands for the Project Management Institute. This is a recognized organization which grants the PMP credential, Project Management Professional credential, as well as a few other credentials. It publishes the PMBOK, P-M-B-O-K. This is the Bible of project management. It's a collection of recognized industry knowledge and technique regarding project management. It defines this concept of what are the skills that are involved in project management. In addition, PMI publishes the PM Network magazine, which is a monthly publication, which promotes the use of effective project management and helps to define emerging trends within project management. Another abbreviation is PMO, Project Management Office. This is where a project management team will coordinate their efforts. It could be a virtual office, doesn't have to be a physical location, although it often is. Much of the communication and reporting for project management goes through the PMO, the Project Management Office. Many of the decisions are made, the changes are monitored and controlled through the Project Management Office. An important abbreviation we should know is SOW, Statement of Work. We're probably familiar with that through areas other than project management. And a WBS, Work Breakdown Structure. This is what identifies each work package within a project and gives it a numerical code and a hierarchy so that we can organize the activities, the tasks involved in project management into identified work packages. These can be budgeted for, they can be reported on for purposes of performance reporting. Other terms we should be aware of are sponsor. This is a person who initiates a project. They come up with the idea or they decide we need to do a project. It's the person who pays for the project. It could be an organization that hires a performing organization to come in and do a project. Could be an executive who says, let's do this differently, and from that day a project is initiated. Stakeholders are also involved in projects. This is anyone who cares about the results of the project. Could be those who work directly in the project, but not necessarily. Could be community members. Many of the ports projects, I would imagine, have many stakeholders within the community. Another term we should know is project charter. This is the document which officially authorizes a project. It's important because it says why the project is needed. It identifies the environmental factors that influence the project and exactly what the project should accomplish in the end. It's the initial groundwork for the project. Another term we should know is baseline. Baseline applies to costs, schedule. It's the initial budget for the project in terms of cost, and it's also the initial timeline for the project in terms of schedule. The baseline can only be modified by an approved change request that has gone through the change request board that we've accepted. Okay, now this is our new baseline. We should also be aware of some reporting and tracking tools like Gantt chart. It's a bar chart where we have activities, tasks, and then each one has a timeline represented by a bar. On that timeline, we'll have dependencies reflected. A dependency is another term which means that one task is constrained by another task. Either it can't start before another task finishes, or it can't finish before another task starts. We have all kinds of types of dependencies. A similar reflection to the Gantt chart is a network diagram. And this is specifically designed to show what we call a critical path. Critical path is that string of events, a string of work packages that, if any of which is adjusted, it will affect the completion date of the project. So our dependencies are in line, and they determine what our critical path is. If we move task B, it will affect the end date of the project. The amount of wiggle room or shifting we can do for each task is known as float. So float is another term we should be aware of. Total float is how much we can move a task before it affects the finish date of the project. And free float is how much we can move a task before it affects the start date of the very next work package. Earned value is another term we should know. Earned value is a way of reporting on the progress of our project. So we can say, how much have we actually completed in terms of the initial baseline? How are we comparing on a schedule basis? How are we comparing on a cost basis for the work that we've done so far? Are we over budget? Are we over schedule? And based on that, we can come up with our estimates at completion. How are we going to be looking when this project is complete? We'll explore in the future some more applications of project management, but I hope that today we've appreciated the basis for project management knowledge, and we'll delve into that more. Mr. Dustin.
All right. Thank you very much. And timer, once again, if we could have 2 minutes. Thank you.